Breaking news out of Baltimore County. A potential new site for brand new construction is underway in southern Baltimore County. You are going to want to stay tuned if you are either a buyer of Maryland real estate or a seller of Maryland real estate. This news is going to potentially impact some decisions you may have here coming up in the future. Be sure to hit that notification bell, subscribe below this so you can stay current on everything that we have going on here in and around the Baltimore metro area. I'm Mike Mislinski, and today we are talking about a potential new community to be built in Edgemere of Baltimore County. And this exact location is the former St. Luke's Catholic Church in Edgemere. As you know, this property has been vacant for some time, so it's only a matter of time before some sort of redevelopment, whether it be housing, schooling, hospital, education of some sort, anything, shop mall. So today we actually have potentially some sort of news as to what is going to go in this location moving forward. But if we have something that's potentially going on, what is that going to do for you? What is the community impact of the schools, the roads, the shopping, etc.? And of course, the housing, right? What is that going to do for the overall area? So we're going to dive into all of that here today. Okay, here's what's happening. A real estate development firm has released official schematics for a residential condo community to be built on the grounds of the former St. Luke's Catholic Church right here in Edgemere. As I said, this spot has been vacant for a while, so it was only a matter of time, but now we actually have some more clarity of what's going to go on. Now, you may be asking, how are they going to fit condos in there? How many? Does it even make sense? It's not that large of an area. Well, they actually are going to do the unthinkable. Or if you followed the channel, you're seeing this more and more often now, is they're going to put in the townhome look-alike condos. And what those are the 2/2s. So you have a condo up top and a condo on the bottom. And on the outside, it looks like a complete townhouse, right? So it gives the look and the curb appeal of a traditional townhome community, but they're actually condos. Okay, so it's a new wave. It's something that you're going to see more and more often moving forward, just because it's trendy, number one, but gives people a little bit more space, because traditionally a condo is only, a one-level living, whereas these condos actually are two levels at the top and 2 levels at the bottom. Why would anybody be interested in those? Well, number one, you may be a downsizer. If you are somebody that has actually lived in your home for maybe 20, 30 years, and you've just gotten maybe a little too old, right? You've lived in there, the house is actually owning you as opposed to you owning the house, right? So you may want to downsize. This unlocks inventory with those people looking to downsize, right? But they don't want a full-blown one-level living. They still want to go up and down the stairs. They still want a situation where they're going to bed upstairs and living everything the rest of their lives downstairs, okay? Or there's no final set figure here. It could be just one-level condos like you're traditionally seeing. Now, that would probably be more of a waste, and they would make less money probably by doing so. Whereas if you do these 2/2s, these companies, whatever builder that they choose or whatever builder decides to come in and build these things, they're going to make more money by most likely building these 2/2 condos. And it's probably a little bit easier for them as well. And then if you are a buyer, right? So you're looking to maybe get your first home or get out of your apartment that you maybe transitioned, you bounced around from different communities, testing them out. Now is the time to find one of these condo communities, because number one, they're a little bit more affordable than a traditional townhome. However, it gives you still that ability to have that 2-level living. So you have that downstairs, which has, your living room, your kitchen, your potentially a garage, and then your bedroom, and maybe like a mixed use space upstairs, like a common area type situation, which people usually use for like entertainment purposes, like almost like if you had it as in a basement or like a man cave or some kind of situation like that. So it could be a way to bring a little bit more affordable housing into the area, which honestly it probably needs. So let's do a quick poll. Does condo living even really appeal to you? Let me know why or why not, and just put your vote down in the comments. Say yes it does or no it doesn't. So I can get an understanding, are people really even looking for condos? How many people do we really have out there looking for these things?
Thinking about relocating to Baltimore? Well, I've got just the thing for you. My team and I have actually taken the time to create the ultimate relocation guide, which is meant to save you hours of research, and I've linked it all down below.
From top employers to best hospitals and a boatload of other things, all the stuff you'll need to know before making the move to in and around Baltimore. The best part, this guide is entirely free. Just click the link in the description at the top pinned comment. Hope this helps. All right, so now what are even the benefits if they decide to actually move forward with this and actually put these condos into place down in Edgemere, Maryland? Again, obviously the first and the most obvious is another option for housing, right? Affordable housing. Downsizers looking to scale down from a larger house into a smaller dwelling, and then buyers looking to come in from a smaller living space or a co-living space into maybe their first home or something along those lines. And then with all of these new developments, right, they always put in all these amenities into these communities, right? So it's not just these townhomes and then they sit there and then that's it, right? That's, you know, they don't sit by themselves. They typically have, whether it be like a little mini town center almost, where you have a pool potentially, a playground, a little gym, things of that nature, an outdoor cooking space, pavilion type, maybe some yard games. That's actually been extremely popular lately. Some pickleball courses as well. We gotta love our pickleball. If you're looking to have a townhome, even though it's a condo, and have all those amenities that come along with these communities, this is a potential option. And frankly, Edgemere has a lack of this, so it could be warmly welcomed. Now, if you're a current homeowner, right, this actually could increase the value of your home. That may sound a little weird, but with more demand coming into the area, more eyeballs on the area, this tends to spur some development and some interest in the overall area. So people come to look at the condos and they say, this is great, but maybe I want something a little larger. And then that's when you, as the current homeowner, have your house listed for sale, preferably by me or Kelly, and then we work out a situation where we present it in the best possible way so that you get the most value for your home. So just because there's some new development coming in does not necessarily mean it's a bad thing. It could mean that your property values go up, which is great for everyone. And then for you out there that support local businesses, support local restaurants especially. I'm a big proponent of that, as well as Kelly is. You may see a little bit of a boom in some of that. So the restaurants might become a little bit more packed again. Maybe some new restaurants open up, some other shops and so forth. So it could be an overall little jumpstart spur for the overall Edgemere community, which is obviously always a good thing. Then if you're thinking about buying or selling your home, planning ahead is always a good option. Click the link in the description so that you can book a consultation with us and we'll get you started on the right path. The condo fees are things that you have no control of. So if you have some development in the community where you need all new roofs or you need some kind of development in the community, whether it be repairs or additions, that cost gets passed on to you as a homeowner. So if your condo fees are $300 a month, you could see them go up to $350, $400, $450. And typically, when you see that, it holds down that appreciation of a traditional dwelling. So if a townhome is appreciating at 4%, your condo may appreciate at 1% or stay stagnant while your fees are going up, right? So if your fees are going up, you would hope that you have the ability to appreciate more. That's not always the case because the affordability comes into question. So it's a very delicate balance. However, being first in gives you a tremendous advantage in the event that you wanted to sell down the line, right? Because typically some of those capital improvements and things like of that nature don't really come into play until years down the line.
Hey guys, it's Kelly. I'm here with Mike as well. And as much as I love making these videos, there's one thing I love even more, and that's helping families and people from all across the country make a move here to Baltimore. I moved here about 20 years ago and I've never looked back. I love helping countless families make the move as well. So whether you're coming out next week, next month, or even next year, don't hesitate to reach out. My contact information is right here on the screen, and I've linked the description in case you missed the on-screen pop-up. Look forward to helping you and your family make the move to Baltimore.
Then there's the impact on the infrastructure in and around Edgemere. So the schools, the utilities, the roadways, and all the ancillary services could be pinched and squeezed a little bit and have a lot more pressure on them, being that there's just more people in the area to serve. So maybe you get some delays when you call up your internet provider and you need them to come out to fix your internet. Hey, there could be a longer wait. BG&E, the storms knocked down some trees, this, that, and the other, but now there's just more people, more areas to serve. You could be without power for a little bit longer of a period of time. It remains to be seen. Your kids could have, more kids in their classroom. It's hard to say, and it's hard to pinpoint any of that. However, tremendous amounts of due diligence are done on these kinds of things so that they can facilitate them. And a lot of things have to go through approvals, right? They can't just say, oh, I'm buying it and start building. There has to be a lot of approvals that happen first. And then depending on who you speak to, you may feel like, hey, adding all this new stuff is losing some of the character and the old blue collar charm that Edgemere has to offer. Doing all this is well, look, that is very much a personal decision. And without development, you basically are putting yourself behind other areas. And that's when your areas fall back down to, some tougher times. We want the areas to grow. We want them to flourish. We want the economics in and around these areas to flourish. So doing things like this helps spur all of those things. Now for the question of the day. For those of you looking to move within the state of Maryland, you're already here, you want to move to a different part. What part do you want to move to? Do you want to move from the city, out of the city, from Baltimore County to Anne Arundel County, Annapolis to Frederick? Let me know in the comments. I'm extremely interested. Get an understanding of where people are moving within the state. Even better, give me a call, shoot me a text. All my information is right on the screen here. Looking forward to hearing from you. So with all that being said, right? What is your biggest worry? Do you have any worries or concerns if they were to put something like this in Edgemere? Or maybe you're in an area now where they've already done something like this. What has the impact been for you in your area? Let me know in the comments. Now let's take a look at the actual real estate market in and around Edgemere. Home prices are actually up 14% year over year. And the median price for homes in Edgemere are up to $399,000. Just years ago, we were in the high 200s. It's been really astonishing to see the growth of the homes in and around this area. But if you're not from the Baltimore metro area, it is waterfront communities. So you do have a lot of water surrounding you in the Edgemere area. So it just depends where you're going and that type of thing. So we talk about some of the other areas around Maryland, such as Annapolis and up along Harford County, where we still have some of that waterfront feel. This is really the last portions here in Baltimore County. And just like we've talked about in other videos and in a lot of places in the Northeast parts of the United States, inventory is extremely tight. People are staying in their homes longer than ever, right? Especially here in Edgemere, where you have it's basically a blue collar town, right? And these people have lived in their homes for years and years and years. So they might have a mortgage that's been paid off, or they might have a low mortgage payment. So they're just not looking to move necessarily. So could this be a good thing if they add some of these townhomes? Like we talked about, unlocking some of that inventory so that, we can start the cycle over again. It could be a good thing, but as it stands now, inventory is still extremely tight. If you want a personalized market update or get an understanding of what your home's worth or what's going on in and around your neighborhood, drop value in the comments or be sure to click one of the links in the description and we'll get you all set up. So finally, what do I think, right? I don't give a lot of really personal opinions on a lot of the things that we present to you guys. However, I think it's important when we have something that's new and fresh that's really going to make a huge impact in and around our communities, it definitely is important to give my perspectives of what I think. Overall, it's probably a good thing. Will there be situations that arise where there's some hiccups or some people are upset? Most likely, because that's the way everything works. You can't please every single person. However, if it's going to spur some economic development and have people moving in and around Baltimore County, in and around Edgemere, that's an overall good thing for all of us here, especially here in Maryland. We're a family, but even more so in the Baltimore area. So when all of us come together and do good things and are flourishing and are thriving, it's a good thing for all of us here in the area. So that's it. That's my opinion. That's what's going down potentially in the Edgemere area of Baltimore County, around the Baltimore metro area. So let me know what you guys think. Are there any other areas that you think could have some development or need some development? Or if you're a buyer, you're a seller, or an investor, and you just want to get the process started, make sure to let us know, and we'll be sure to reach out to you ASAP to provide you the necessary information you need. Hit the notification bell, subscribe below. That's Kelly, I'm Mike, and we'll catch you on the next video.